As the world grapples with the multifaceted impacts of climate change, countries like Cambodia find themselves at the forefront of this global challenge. Known for its rich history and cultural heritage, Cambodia is also distinguished by its susceptibility to environmental changes. Located in Southeast Asia, the nation experiences a tropical climate characterized by pronounced wet and dry seasons, making it particularly vulnerable to climate-related disruptions. The effects of climate change are already evident, impacting various aspects of life in Cambodia, from agriculture to infrastructure. Cambodia's vulnerability to climate change stems from both its geographical position and socio-economic factors. The country's predominantly agrarian economy means that a substantial portion of its population relies on agriculture for their livelihoods. This sector is highly sensitive to climatic variations, particularly changes in rainfall patterns and temperature fluctuations. Additionally, many Cambodians live in rural areas with limited access to resources, making it challenging to adapt to these changes effectively. Flooding poses one of the most significant threats to Cambodia, exacerbated by climate change. Past events have demonstrated the devastating impacts of floods on communities, infrastructure, and the economy. Such challenges necessitate comprehensive adaptation and mitigation strategies to safeguard the nation's future. Recognizing this, Cambodia is taking strategic steps to address climate change, balancing immediate needs with long-term sustainability goals. Efforts to combat climate change in Cambodia are multifaceted, encompassing financial investments, educational initiatives, and policy reforms. The country's commitment to these areas underscores its determination to build a resilient and sustainable future. Through a combination of international cooperation and local action, Cambodia is charting a path towards a greener future, poised to mitigate the adverse effects of climate change while enhancing its adaptive capacity. In response to the pressing need for climate action, Cambodia has committed substantial financial resources towards adaptation and mitigation efforts. The country has earmarked $2 billion specifically for climate change adaptation initiatives between 2020 and 2030. This significant investment highlights the government's recognition of the urgent need to enhance resilience against the impacts of climate change. In parallel, nearly $6 billion is allocated for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, underscoring a dual focus on adaptation and mitigation. These financial commitments are not merely figures on paper, but represent a comprehensive strategy to tackle climate change on multiple fronts. The $2 billion adaptation budget prioritizes critical areas such as water resources, agriculture, and infrastructure. Each of these sectors plays a vital role in sustaining the nation's economy and well-being, making their adaptation to climate change essential. The allocation of these funds is designed to maximize impact and ensure that resources are directed towards areas of greatest need. Cambodia's financial strategy is also aligned with international climate targets and commitments. The investment in mitigation reflects the country's efforts to contribute to global emission reduction goals. By cancelling coal plant projects and promoting renewable energy sources, Cambodia is working towards a cleaner energy future. These actions are in line with the nationally determined contribution goals, which aim to reduce emissions by 41.7% by 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. The financial commitments made by Cambodia are a testament to its proactive approach in addressing climate change. By investing in both adaptation and mitigation, the country is not only securing its own future, but also contributing to global efforts to combat climate change. This balanced approach ensures that while immediate vulnerabilities are addressed, long-term sustainability is also prioritized. While water resources are at the heart of Cambodia's adaptation strategy, given their critical role in both urban and rural livelihoods. The Mekong River, one of the world's great river systems, flows through Cambodia, providing vital resources for agriculture, fishing, and daily living. However, climate change poses significant challenges to water availability and quality, necessitating targeted adaptation measures. Efforts to adapt water resources to climate change include improving water management systems and infrastructure. Investments are being made to enhance irrigation systems, ensuring that agricultural productivity is maintained even in the face of changing rainfall patterns. These improvements are crucial for supporting the livelihoods of millions who depend on agriculture, particularly as droughts and unpredictable weather become more common. In addition to infrastructure improvements, Cambodia is focused on policy reforms to support sustainable water management. Collaborative efforts between government agencies, local communities, and international partners aim to develop integrated water resource management plans. These plans are designed to balance the needs of all water users, promoting efficient use and conservation of this precious resource. Water management is not merely about technology and infrastructure, but also involves community engagement and education. Programs that raise awareness about water conservation and sustainable practices are integral to the adaptation strategy. By empowering communities with knowledge and resources, Cambodia is fostering a culture of resilience that is essential for navigating the challenges posed by climate change. Agriculture remains a cornerstone of Cambodia's economy, employing a large portion of the population and contributing significantly to national GDP. However, the sector is highly vulnerable to climate change, with shifts in weather patterns threatening crop yields and food security. As a result, agricultural adaptation is a critical component of Cambodia's climate strategy. Investments in agricultural adaptation focus on developing climate-resilient crop varieties and promoting sustainable farming practices. Research and development efforts aim to identify crops that are better suited to withstand extreme weather conditions, such as droughts and floods. By diversifying crop varieties, farmers can reduce their reliance on any single crop, thereby enhancing resilience to climate shocks. Training and capacity-building initiatives are also central to agricultural adaptation. These programs provide farmers with the knowledge and tools needed to implement sustainable practices, such as efficient water use and soil management. By adopting these practices, farmers can improve productivity while minimizing environmental impact, contributing to both economic and ecological sustainability. In addition to technical solutions, Cambodia's agricultural adaptation strategy includes policy support and financial incentives. Government programs offer subsidies and grants to encourage the adoption of sustainable practices, while also providing safety nets for farmers affected by climate-related disasters. These measures aim to create an enabling environment for agricultural adaptation, ensuring that the sector can thrive in a changing climate. The journey towards agricultural adaptation is multifaceted, requiring collaboration across sectors and levels of government. By prioritizing agriculture in its climate strategy, Cambodia is taking proactive steps to secure food security and livelihoods for its population, while also contributing to global efforts to address climate change. Section 5. Infrastructure's role in climate resilience. Infrastructure development is a crucial aspect of Cambodia's climate adaptation strategy, as it underpins economic growth and social well-being. Climate change poses significant risks to infrastructure, with extreme weather events threatening the stability and functionality of roads, bridges, and buildings. Recognizing these challenges, Cambodia has prioritized infrastructure adaptation to enhance resilience across the country. Investments in climate-resilient infrastructure focus on upgrading existing systems and developing new projects that can withstand the impacts of climate change. This includes reinforcing roads and bridges to prevent damage from floods and implementing flood management systems in urban areas. By strengthening infrastructure, Cambodia aims to reduce the risk of disruptions to transportation and communication networks, which are vital for economic stability and growth. In addition to physical upgrades, Cambodia's infrastructure adaptation strategy involves integrating climate risk assessments into planning and development processes. By incorporating climate data and projections into infrastructure design, planners can identify potential vulnerabilities and implement measures to mitigate risks. This proactive approach ensures that new developments are better equipped to handle climate-related challenges, reducing the need for costly repairs and retrofits in the future. Community involvement is also a key component of infrastructure adaptation, as local knowledge and participation can enhance the effectiveness of adaptation efforts. Programs that engage communities in infrastructure planning and maintenance help to build local capacity and ownership, ensuring that infrastructure investments deliver long-term benefits. Through collaborative efforts, Cambodia is fostering a culture of resilience that extends beyond physical infrastructure to encompass social and institutional dimensions. By prioritizing infrastructure adaptation, Cambodia is laying the groundwork for a more resilient and sustainable future. These efforts not only protect critical assets but also support broader development goals, contributing to the nation's overall adaptive capacity in the face of climate change. Section 6. The impact of flooding on Cambodian lives. Flooding is one of the most immediate and visible impacts of climate change in Cambodia, with devastating consequences for communities and the economy. The country has experienced numerous severe flooding events in recent years, each causing extensive damage and displacement. Addressing this hazard is therefore a top priority in Cambodia's climate adaptation efforts. The impacts of flooding extend far beyond immediate physical damage, affecting livelihoods, health and education. Floodwaters can destroy homes and infrastructure, displacing families and disrupting daily life. In rural areas where agriculture is the main source of income, floods can wipe out crops and livestock, leading to food shortages and economic hardship. These challenges highlight the need for comprehensive flood management strategies that address both short-term and long-term impacts. Health is another area significantly affected by flooding, as standing water can lead to the spread of waterborne diseases. Ensuring access to clean water and sanitation during flood events is critical to preventing outbreaks and protecting public health. Cambodia's adaptation efforts include strengthening healthcare systems and improving access to essential services in flood-prone areas, thereby enhancing community resilience. Education is also disrupted by flooding, with schools often damaged or inaccessible during flood events. This poses a significant challenge, particularly in rural areas where educational resources are already limited. Efforts to adapt the education system to climate change include developing flood-resilient school infrastructure and integrating climate education into curricula. By prioritizing education in its adaptation strategy, Cambodia is investing in the future resilience of its population. Flooding presents complex challenges that require integrated and multifaceted solutions. Through a combination of infrastructure improvements, policy reforms, and community engagement, Cambodia is working to mitigate the impacts of flooding and enhance resilience across the country. Section 7. Education and Climate, the CSESI Initiative. Education plays a crucial role in climate adaptation, equipping future generations with the knowledge and skills needed to address environmental challenges. In Cambodia, the Climate Smart Education Systems Initiative, or CSESI, is at the forefront of efforts to integrate climate adaptation into the education system. This initiative aims to build a foundation of understanding and resilience that can support sustainable development in the face of climate change. The CSESI focuses on incorporating climate education into school curricula, ensuring that students are informed about the causes and impacts of climate change. By embedding climate knowledge into education, the initiative seeks to foster a generation that is aware of environmental issues and empowered to take action. This educational approach is essential for building long-term resilience and promoting sustainable practices across society. In addition to curriculum development, the CSESI supports teacher training and capacity-building efforts. Educators play a critical role in delivering climate education, and providing them with the necessary resources and training is crucial for effective implementation. Workshops and seminars offered through the CSESI help teachers understand climate concepts and develop strategies for integrating them into their teaching. The initiative also addresses the digital divide, which can impede access to climate education, particularly in rural areas. By promoting equitable access to online resources and technology, the CSESI ensures that all students have the opportunity to benefit from climate education. This focus on inclusivity and access is vital for ensuring that no one is left behind in the transition to a climate-smart education system. Through the CSESI, Cambodia is making significant strides in integrating climate adaptation into education. This initiative highlights the importance of investing in human capital as part of a comprehensive climate strategy, ensuring that future generations are prepared to navigate the challenges of a changing world. Section 8. Governance and social context in climate adaptation. Effective governance is a cornerstone of successful climate adaptation, requiring coordination and collaboration across sectors and levels of government. In Cambodia, the governance context presents both opportunities and challenges for climate action. Recent political transitions and social dynamics shape the landscape within which adaptation efforts unfold, influencing the implementation and effectiveness of climate policies. In July 2023, Cambodia experienced a significant political transition, with the leadership change from Hun Sen to his son, Hun Manet. This transition introduces a new era in governance, potentially impacting the direction and priorities of climate policy. While the new administration has reaffirmed its commitment to climate adaptation, the evolving political context requires careful navigation to ensure continuity and effectiveness in climate efforts. Social dynamics also play a critical role in shaping Cambodia's climate adaptation strategies. Concerns about prioritizing special interests over environmental protection highlight the need for transparent and inclusive governance. The imprisonment of youth activists in 2023 underscores these tensions, pointing to broader issues of civic engagement and rights in the context of climate action. Addressing these challenges requires a commitment to participatory governance and the inclusion of diverse voices in decision-making processes. Indigenous rights and land use policies present additional complexities in Cambodia's climate adaptation efforts. Carbon offset projects and other initiatives can impact indigenous communities, necessitating careful consideration of their rights and livelihoods. Ensuring that adaptation strategies are equitable and just is essential for building broad-based support and achieving sustainable outcomes. Despite these challenges, Cambodia's governance context also offers opportunities for innovation and collaboration. Local initiatives and community engagement efforts, such as the Commune Investment Program, demonstrate the potential for grassroots action to drive meaningful change. By fostering inclusive and transparent governance, Cambodia can enhance the effectiveness of its climate adaptation efforts and build a more resilient society. Section 9. Local initiatives and community engagement. Local initiatives and community engagement are critical components of Cambodia's climate adaptation strategy, providing a foundation for resilience at the grassroots level. The Commune Investment Program, or CIP, exemplifies this approach, integrating resilience planning into local development efforts. By empowering communities to participate in adaptation planning, the CIP fosters a sense of ownership and agency that is essential for sustainable outcomes. The CIP supports a range of activities aimed at enhancing community resilience, from infrastructure improvements to disaster preparedness training. These initiatives are designed to address specific local vulnerabilities, ensuring that adaptation efforts are tailored to the unique needs and circumstances of each community. By prioritizing local knowledge and expertise, the CIP enhances the effectiveness of adaptation measures and fosters community buy-in. Community engagement is also central to recent climate risk analysis workshops held in Phnom Penh. These workshops bring together stakeholders from government, civil society, and local communities to assess climate risks and develop adaptation strategies. By facilitating dialogue and collaboration, these events help to build consensus and align efforts across different sectors and levels of government. Education and awareness raising are integral to community engagement efforts, as informed communities are better equipped to respond to climate challenges. Programs that promote climate literacy and resilience-building activities empower individuals and communities to take proactive steps towards adaptation. These efforts are supported by partnerships with international organizations and donors, which provide resources and expertise to enhance local capacity. Through initiatives like the CIP and climate risk analysis workshops, Cambodia is demonstrating the power of community engagement in climate adaptation. By prioritizing local action and collaboration, the country is building a foundation of resilience that can support long-term sustainability and adaptation to climate change.